So it's like, not only are you paying for Lamar Jackson, you're bringing in all the players who want to play with him, and you're bringing in someone like Sean Payton who wants to coach him. And Sean Payton's defenses were pretty fucking good too.
Always good.
Yeah.
No, he always had a great defense, and he's also a good drafter. He drafted the Alvin Kamaras of the world. He drafted the Michael Thomases and the Taysom Hills of the world. You can make fun of Taysom Hill.
Colston.
You can make fun of Taysom Hill all you want, but he is a quarterback, running back, tight end, wide receiver.
Yeah.
And a blocker and an offensive lineman. So he's 5 positions on that team. He does
Reggie Bush, Pierre Thomas.
Pierre Thomas. Yeah, you continue on. And he also turned Drew Brees into a Hall of Famer.
Didn't he draft Jimmy Graham too?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So he knows how to draft on offense as well, and also going after wide receivers as well. He also had Brandon Cooks on his team as well too.
Yeah, he drafted him.
Yeah,
because remember, Brandon Cooks was with the Saints. Then the Saints are like, "Hey, this guy Michael Thomas is pretty good. You're off to New England."
It's honestly hard to keep track of Brandon Cooks' career because of how many teams he's been on at this point.
Yeah,
I don't even know the origin at this point. But yeah, honestly, I think Lamar Jackson. Where do you think the best fit for him would be if you had to pick one team?
The Jets.
The Jets are?
Absolutely the Jets. I mean, Miami, Tua has shown that he doesn't have availability, and I'm concerned with his injuries, especially head injuries. So I feel like either Miami or the Jets, especially if they're looking to move off, and Lamar Jackson can hold his own against Josh Allen. And I feel like with Robert Saleh and that defense, and then you have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall on that team. So you have weapons, you have the best wide receivers ever, and then you have the best running back you've ever had with you. Either that or honestly like him with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I was like, I feel like it would take some time to rebuild. Maybe it takes a year, but I feel like with Brady leaving, you kind of want to reboot it. And then Sean Payton's familiar with that division. You're going into a bad division. So I feel like the NFC South, if I'm Lamar Jackson, is a great play for me. Saints, I mean, they're not getting an all pro quarterback. And then the Panthers,
no.
I mean, they're interviewing Frank Reich, for God's sake. And then, the Buccaneers, I feel like would be a really good fit just for the fact that he's in the NFC South. If not that, I'm going to the Titans. Hello, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Mike Vrabel. Let's run it.
Yeah, I think his best fit for me, I would think, would be Miami. Because what you could do if you're Miami, let's say, you want to go after Lamar Jackson, you could potentially pose a trade where you trade Tua to the Ravens, right?
That's a good point.
Over to them. They have a quarterback that is definitely a solid quarterback. Definitely, I would say, above average quarterback. You get Lamar Jackson. Maybe you draft a couple of running backs. Maybe sign a couple.
Yeah,
you can keep Raheem Mostert if you'd like. Then you have Lamar Jackson, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Mike Gesicki on one team. And never mind, you get the Trent Sherfield as well, who for some reason just got so many touches this year.
Yeah.
So it's like that team not only will be the fastest team in the league, but also the hardest to stop, hardest to tackle. That team would be nasty. I think Miami would be lethal. And they also got players on defense as well. So
yeah,
that's a scary team with Lamar.
Yeah, I like the Jets because I believe in Robert Saleh at this point a little bit more than Mike McDaniel, especially with everything he's had to deal with. I feel like Mike McDaniels was given a playoff team. I feel like Robert Saleh has done a better job overall rebuilding. Well, I do give credit to Mike McDaniel for being aggressive and going out and getting Tyreek Hill. I just think with the defense of New York, they're still a young team. They don't have to pay too many people. I don't know if Miami can afford it, especially with the Tyreek Hill contract. And then you still have Garrett Wilson on a rookie deal. And then you still have Breece Hall. It's his second year. So you have the cap space to pay him. And it's very realistic for him to go there, especially with someone like Robert Saleh. But if I'm Lamar, I'm getting to the NFC South.
Another interesting thing with Lamar is if he goes into the NFC, who is he playing against? He's playing against the Eagles, the 49ers.
And who else?
The Cowboys. Who else?
Yeah.
Compared if he's in the AFC, he's got the Dolphins. He's got to face off. I like the Jets a lot, by the way. I forgot to add to that. Because Garrett Wilson, I like the rookie contract I did because that opens up the door. If they have enough cap space, they can also go after someone like DeAndre Hopkins potentially. if they really want to go all in, or maybe they go after a tight end, maybe they sign a TJ Hawkinson in free agency. There's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Their tight ends right now is Tyler Conklin, who's fine, and they have CJ Uzama, who's more of like a leadership guy.
Yeah.
But then you'd have potentially, this is a dream scenario, a D Hop, Garrett Wilson, TJ Hawkinson, and you have Brees Hall on a rookie deal, and you have Lamar Jackson, and you have a defense with Sauce Gardner. You got DJ,
Karlaftis.
yeah. Well, Karlaftis on the Chiefs, but they got Quinnen Williams, who's an all pro.
Yeah.
They got CJ Mosley.
Oh yeah, CJ Mosley's a monster. People forget how good he is, and he's been in the league a long time. Still one of the best middle linebackers in football.
Exactly. And they're gonna have a top round pick as well.
They're good at drafting.
They're really good. And they have Joe Douglas, the GM, who finessed the Seahawks, who somehow, some way is just keeps getting draft capital.
Yeah.
So they have the draft capital to trade for Lamar, and they have the money to trade for Lamar. So I think that's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I like the Jets a lot. Still, I think if I'm Lamar, I'm very opportunistic that